What's up, everyone? We're back. We're going to recap the last few matches, especially last night's huge win on the road against Tulsa, and we will look forward to this Sunday's match on the road against Oklahoma City Energy. We'll be right back with you right after this. How's it going, everyone? Of course, Old Glory Red Report, a supporters channel by the supporters for the supporters. Casey J with me, as always, Mark Anthony. Man, today we're going to talk about last night's win, huge win against Tulsa.
Great win.
We'll talk about a couple of the recent performances overall since we've been MIA. We'll also look ahead to the OKC match this weekend. But first, Casey, you had a trip of a lifetime to Europe. Let's talk about it for a second.
It was an amazing trip. Me and my wife went to Ireland and the Netherlands a week in each. So that's why we've kind of been missing in action. I did intend to try to get some footage out while we were there, but we just didn't have time. We were busy with lots of stuff to do in beautiful countries. So we're back, though. We're going to try to get some more content out to you as soon as we can. But the most important news is our main man over here, Mark, is now a married spud. How did the wedding go, man?
Kate finally, she put a ring on it, so I'm off the market. Just FYI out there. The wedding was fantastic. It was everything I think that we hoped for. It was best day of our lives. So
that's great, man.
We had a lot of great memories from that day. Family, the food was great. I mean, all of our friends, we loved everything. We're so thankful. So, with that being said, I'm also thankful about the recent run of form from the guys in Old Glory Red.
Absolutely. You know, I wasn't able to watch the Seattle game, but I did see the highlights. I did check it out after I got back. And what a win that was. We kind of talked about off camera, the Bijev-Isley pairing up top. That's a great ball in from Bijev to set up Isley. Good to see them doing that. A lot of good press, a lot of good forward play from them. What a good game. 3-0 is a great win. I mean, a great win, especially at home.
It was such a nice win at home, especially considering that the last game at home was that 4-1 loss against Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those where you want to win, but to do it in that impressive of a fashion was a great result. And we have seen now that form has carried over. I mean, last night's game against Tulsa, a 4-1 win on the road. They were in control of the game almost from minute one throughout.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a great performance. What did you think?
Especially in the first half, I think we came out and dominated a half. I think we played well. The press that we've been playing in the last couple games has been on point. It's something that we've wanted to see from early on. It's that mentality of a full 90-minute team out there on the field. One tie on both games is Clemente did make a couple of poor decisions in these last couple games, giving up a couple penalties. Cohen saved the first one, wasn't able to save the one against Tulsa. That's the only thing in the game that I kind of took away as a negative. I'm not sure what's up with that, but a great overall performance in both games by the team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Clementa's playing with an injury. I'm purely speculating, of course, but he seems to be a little bit outside of himself.
Yeah.
The last couple games. So something to keep an eye on there for our upcoming fixtures until, we hit the playoffs. So,
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that first half against Tulsa. Elliott Horde, I mean, that was his first goal in season this year. I think it's the second goal because I believe he scored against LAFC in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yes, absolutely.
But man, I mean, he struck that like his name was Cameron Awasa, not a right back, right winger Elliott Horde. What did you think about the goal?
Horde cracked that goal. It hit the bar, it shook the bar, and it made its way in. What a goal it was! But it's a goal that's made by that press. It's a goal that they forced a turnover. The ball comes into the path of Horde. He one-times it, just takes it into the net, and we're one up. And I think for a half we dominated, we deserved that, if not more. We had chances that were missed. Great on Horde to take it, though, and get us that one going into the half.
Yeah, and that's one of those shots, I mean, if you've ever played the game at any level, whether it's rec, college, co-ed, it doesn't matter. If you hit a goal like that, I mean, you're feeling super good about it. And
definitely.
I feel like in the upcoming games when he gets a chance to shoot, I don't think he's going to lack in confidence. Let's just put it that way.
It'll definitely light him up a little bit.
But what about, speaking of great goals, Hayden Partain, his first goal yesterday, beautiful left-footed crack from outside the box. Another player that you don't really expect that from, getting a beautiful goal.
Well, and it's another player that got his first goal of the season for us. So Horde and Partain both got their first goals of the season, and both goals were great goals. Partain also, it was on the press, kind of gets a little turnover. He gets on the ball, takes a couple touches, puts it into the far part of the near post. Great. The keeper had nothing on it. Good goal. Good to see him.
Yeah, Wassa played that ball into Isley, who laid it off. Partain, again, not lacking for confidence, playing with his left foot, hits it from the outside. Great goal. He scores again, so he gets 2. He had some family there, so that was cool to see.
That was good.
Him performing well. It's nice to see him healthy. He missed a lot of time in the beginning and the middle of the season due to injury, but he's back. So great to see him at this crucial juncture of the season. And then, of course, Awasa, the man, it seems like he scores every game.
Yeah.
He gets on the score sheet. He also had an assist in the game. He's just like super reliable at this point, right? I mean,
we know he's going to score every game now. I mean, the leading scorer for the team. So
yeah, and then Cohen didn't make that save on the penalty. It was a nice cheeky finish by an old familiar foe, or familiar face, I should say, Vukovic.
Yeah.
But he did make that fantastic save on Vukovic on the header in the first half.
He did, and that was probably their best chance on, and that was a fantastic save from Cohen.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Cohen, again, another guy, like, you can count on an Awasa goal every game. You can pretty much count on Cohen to make 1 or 2 amazing saves.
We do, obviously. I mean, that's we've got to, every clean sheet we owe to him making a couple good saves. So
yeah, so I mean, you look at the stats from the last couple games. We dominate the scoreline. The possession seems to be more balanced, and the shots seem to be more balanced. But I think we're getting better opportunities. And I think that the team is sacrificing possession for defending in higher, more aggressive spots. And I think it's definitely a good thing moving forward. So sometimes stats can be a little deceiving where, we've had games in the past where maybe we have 65% possession, but we don't have the best chances. We only have a few good ones.
Yeah, and that's it. And like I was talking about earlier, I love that press. I love seeing playing that high 2-man press, getting on the ball every time. It does cause turnovers, and it does lead to these goals. And if they can keep that up and they can keep a mentality of playing that press for 90 minutes, it's definitely going to get us some points, which we've seen in these last couple games.
Yeah, and we've seen different players playing. We've seen Awasa play in the midfield. We've seen a 3-back formation.
Yeah.
We saw more of a 4-3-3 last night with Awasa actually playing as an attacking mid. So we're seeing Elliott kind of mix it up, and the guys are scoring goals. They're getting the results.
Well, and that's it. We're finishing. That's something we've been lacking in the season is we've been creating opportunities from the start, but the guys just haven't had that final touch in the third. And now we've seen Isley get a few in. We've seen Iwasa almost scoring every damn game he plays. Partain had a brace last night.
Yeah.
Horde's on the board. You know what I mean? So Nisha got a goal not too far back. So, I mean, people are starting to score that's not just Iwasa. And we talked about it in other videos. You're not going to win a title. You're not going to win the USL Championship by having one player scoring. You need other guys in the field to be putting in and doing their part. And now we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that click. Alaman coming back. Matty Asset coming back, getting in some full fitness, getting on there. Hopefully they can start putting some in too. That'll only help us going into the playoffs.
Yeah, Isley I think is playing as good as he's played all year.
Seriously.
Nishaw's playing great.
He was fantastic.
I mean, Matty Osic played off the bench yesterday and contributed big time.
Yeah.
On 2 of the goals, he was involved heavily in both of them. So he's, finding his kind of form. We've had a couple injuries. It looks like Moffitt and Villarreal will not be available for the rest of the season. That's
a couple of guys we did rely on earlier in the season, so that will be a miss.
But another guy who's in form right now and taking place of one of those guys is Partain, and he's maybe had his best game of the season last night.
Yeah, fair to say.
So you're a man of the match. Who would you give it to?
I would say Partain. He just was. He was fantastic in the middle. He was putting in good challenges. I don't think he stopped running at any point. And he got the brace coming in, and not playing minutes, coming in and getting a brace. That's going to light up, like you said, with Horde making that goal, scoring that goal. he's going to come into the next game with just confidence. So hopefully when he goes to Oklahoma City, he's back in there and gets a couple more.
Yeah, I think Partain was going to be mine, but since you said him, I'm going to do a split. I think I'm going to give it to Isley and Matijasic because it's easy to overlook their performances last night.
Yeah.
But both of them, I mean, Matijasic came in and secured the 3 points for us. Isley was critical on a number of plays, including the assist to Partain on his first goal. I think both of those guys are going to be important for us moving forward. I don't know if we've mentioned them too many times as man of the matches here, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go split, Matijasic, Isley. So let's move on. I mean, OKC, we have this Sunday. We'll complete the Oklahoma road trip. You know,
Yeah.
we'll get in and get out 2 games in 4 days. We're currently in 4th. I mean, OKC, they've done pretty well in their last 5. They've only lost to OC and Swope, 2 solid teams.
And they've worked their way up the table in the last 6 weeks. So
Yeah, they've
them-
beaten the teams that they should beat.
Yes.
They're in 10th. They're about 8 points out of the playoffs. With 4 left, I believe, for them. They pretty much have to win out. I think that they're going to come in hard. They have had 11 days of rest.
Yeah.
What do you think going in? What are you looking for?
Well, they've had some fantastic results leading up to this game. Now, they had a couple of setbacks in the last recent games, but they've won some 4-0s, 4-2s. They put some balls in the back of the net. They've
Lots of
really
goals.
played hard. They've got a familiar face in Adam John playing for him now, who's obviously a creative talent that's going to be someone to look out for in this game. They do play a 4-2-3-1, which is a very attacking formation. You know they're getting those wing backs up. They've got Dixon. I think his name is Sajai, something like that. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Sorry for him. But they play very good shot game on the wings. It's going to be a very tough match for us.
Yeah, you mentioned Adam John. I think was he one of your top 5 Republic players of all time?
He was. He's exciting to watch. No
If you haven't
doubt.
checked out that video, we do have that in our playlist.
Click the little link that happens right here.
Yeah, so Adam John, familiar face. He's, I think, on a loan with OKC for the rest of the
He is,
season.
Yes.
He has 3 goals in 9 games. Always a threat in the air. He's a good target man.
He can hold the ball up well, too.
He will be a physical force that Tainer and Clemente, if they're both starting like they have been, that they'll have to deal with. But like you said, they do get a lot of their creativity and goal scoring from their wings.
They do.
They have Jose Barril, who has 9 assists on the left side, and then you got Hugh Dixon on that right wing, like you mentioned, 10 goals. So they're not really a team that has a lot of guys. They're kind of like maybe our team was before the last few games, where we relied on 1 or 2 players to kind of score the goals and get the team going. But those 3 players, they're 3 front men. They should be a handful. Again, they have the rest. Do you think that's going to be a big deal with Republic coming off a short week? They just played. OKC just won their last game and gets a week and a half off of rest.
Well, a lot of people see it as a good thing for them because they've gotten that rest, but I see it as a good thing for us because we're coming in on a high. They're coming in on maybe a little bit of a lull. They haven't played in a little bit. They've been sitting at home doing some training maybe, but they haven't had that game day.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can come in, take the momentum that we have, and catch them sleeping a little bit early, nick off a few goals early, and just kind of put the game to bed early.
Yeah, we'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you guys think that having the 11 days off for OKC is an advantage? Or do you think it might be a disadvantage because they might come in? We've seen Republic kind of do it too, where they've had some time off. They come in a little cold. It takes 15, 20 minutes to get in the game. Maybe you give up a goal. Then you're chasing the game and trying to find your touch, your footing, your lungs a little bit, right?
It all comes down to how much they were training ahead of time because, if the coaches got them out there doing their runs and, staying fit, that might not be the case. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and let us know. Maybe, do you think that Republic coming off another win, that's 3 in a row, they just played, maybe that's a better advantage?
2 very good wins, too.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 3-goal wins. That's
7
confidence building
goals
right
and
there.
1 against in their last 2 games. So the guys are scoring goals. I think they're playing well. You can see even like the goal yesterday that was scored where Awasa plays it back, Matijasic dummies. Like those are goals where you're confident. You're playing as a team, not just individuals out there. But yeah, I mean OKC, they are in desperation mode. I think that they have to win every single game from here on out to have a chance at making the playoffs. That might not be enough.
That sounds right. They're right on the cusp, sitting at number 10. So, and they're on one game more than us already. So yeah, they probably have to win just about everything.
They're 7 points out. I mean, if they lose, I think that we can pretty much close the book on their season. So that is a concern. We're going to be facing a hungry team,
and we've had a rough time with them at their home. I think we've played them 5 times there or so, and they beat us 4 out of 5. So the statistics aren't in our favor either. But hopefully we can go there and get the 3 points.
Yeah, and they have been scoring a lot of goals lately, like you mentioned. They do give up a lot of goals too. So I think we could see a high-scoring game. What do you think prediction-wise?
I've been feeling it for the last day. I've been 2-1. I think we can go there. We have players that are scoring, like we talked about. We'll get a couple in. Cohen will keep us in the game with let one in, but he'll keep us in the game.
2-1. All right, I like it. I'm gonna say that we will go ahead, get a win to make it 4 in a row. 3-1. I think it will be tougher than the Tulsa game, but I do think that OKC's desperation will actually hurt them rather than help them.
I could definitely see that. I can see that. I just want to mention I did predict 3-1 on the last one, and it was 4-1. So that was a good call by me.
That's a very good prediction. I'll say you got it right. I don't remember what I picked.
I'll take that one.
But yeah, leave us your comments below. Let us know what you think the score is going to be. Remember, it's at Sunday. It's on Sunday. I believe it's at 4 p.m. our time. We will double check that. But yes, Sunday, not Saturday, so a little bit different. But yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the recent games and this big upcoming match. Again, thank you for being with us. Share, subscribe. You guys know what to do. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.